close your eyes and let the weight of your physical surroundings gently fade away. Allow your breathing to slow, finding a rhythm that matches the calm, steady rotation of the Earth itself. Inhale deeply and exhale, letting go of any tension, any lingering thoughts of the day. Just letting them drift off like clouds passing across a vast, blue sky. Tonight, we are going to take a journey, not on foot and not by plane, but through the silent, watchful eye that orbits our world. We are going to drift through the digital tapestry of our planet, exploring the quiet mysteries caught by satellites, those baffling, beautiful anomalies that sit silently on the surface of the Earth, waiting for us to notice them. Imagine yourself floating, weightless and free, suspended in the velvet darkness of space, looking down at the blue marble below. From this height, there is no noise, there is no rush, only the grand, slow unfolding of geography. The world is a painting, textured with mountains, ribboned with rivers, and painted in hues of emerald, sapphire, and gold. As we begin to descend, moving closer to the surface through the lens of technology, we find ourselves drifting over the vast, arid expanse of the desert. The sand stretches out endlessly, a sea of copper and rust, rippling in frozen waves of heat and wind. It is here, in these desolate, quiet places, that the Earth keeps some of its most intriguing secrets. Let your mind's eye focus on the high desert plateaus of South America. The ground here is parched, cracked by centuries of sun, seemingly empty. Yet, as we glide over this landscape, looking down from our celestial vantage point, lines begin to emerge, faint at first, like scratches on old parchment, but then clarifying into shapes, into intention. These are the geoglyphs, ancient drawings etched into the skin of the planet, vast figures that can only be truly seen from the sky, baffling cases of art created by people who could never have viewed their work from this perspective. We drift over a hummingbird, hundreds of feet long, its wings spread wide in eternal flight, frozen in the stone. We see a monkey, a spider, geometric trapezoids that stretch for miles, perfectly straight, ignoring the rough terrain. Pause here for a moment and contemplate the silence of this place. There is no sound but the wind, blowing dust across these ancient lines. Why were they made? These massive messages to the heavens. Perhaps they were prayers. Perhaps they were maps of water sources long dried up. Or perhaps they were simply expressions of the human need to create, to leave a mark that outlasts the fragile span of a life. From our view on Google Earth, they are mysterious scars, beautiful and perplexing, resting in the stillness of the desert. Drifting further now, the colours beneath us shift. The rusty reds give way to the deep, impenetrable green of the Amazon. The canopy is thick, a living, breathing carpet that hides the forest floor from the sun. From above, it looks like moss growing on a stone, soft and uniform. But as we scan this endless green ocean, we spot something that breaks the pattern. There, amidst the dense foliage, are shapes that nature does not make. Circles, squares, perfectly aligned geometric forms revealed only because the trees have grown differently there. These are the footprints of lost civilizations, ancient earthworks hidden for millennia, now spotted by the silent satellite passing overhead. Imagine the people who once lived there, beneath the trees, building mounds and canals, organizing their world in harmony with the forest. Now, only the shadow of their presence remains, a baffling outline in the vegetation, visible only from the edge of space. It is a reminder of how nature reclaims everything, how the forest grows over our histories, wrapping them in vines and roots, keeping them safe and silent. We float onward, leaving the land behind, drifting out over the vast, shimmering expanse of the Pacific Ocean. The blue is so deep here, so profound, it seems to pull us in. The surface is textured with the white caps of waves, tiny flecks of foam that appear static from our great height. In this endless blue, we search for the phantom islands. Baffling cases of geography that appear on maps, appear on satellite images, yet, when ships arrive, they find only open water. Consider the mystery of Sandy Island, a distinct dark shape visible on Google Earth for years, sitting between Australia and New Caledonia. We can see it in our mind's eye, an elongated oval, a sanctuary of land in the water. But it is a ghost, a digital echo. Perhaps it was a raft of pumice stone from an underwater volcano floating on the surface for a time before sinking. Or perhaps it was a mistake in the data, a shadow of an island that never was. There is something soothing about this uncertainty, knowing that even with all our technology, the ocean still holds illusions, still keeps its secrets. The water flows over where the island should be, undisturbed, indifferent to our maps, concealing the truth in its crushing depths. Let us drift now, moving north, feeling the air grow cooler, the light becoming crisp and sharp. We are approaching the Badlands of North America, a rugged, eroded landscape of clay and shale. The earth here is sculpted by wind and rain into fantastic shapes, towers and canyons, gullies and ridges. From our satellite view, looking straight down, the shadows play tricks on the mind. We see a face, emerging from the topography. It is known as the Badlands Guardian, a baffled wonder of geology. It looks like a human head, wearing a headdress, facing westward, listening to the wind. It is purely natural, a coincidence of erosion and shadow, yet it feels profound, as if the earth itself has formed a guardian to watch over the plains. The features are soft, weathered, composed of valleys and hills. In the ear of the figure, a road leads to an oil well, appearing like an earphone. A strange juxtaposition of the ancient earth and the modern world. We linger here, hovering over this silent face, marveling at the pareidolia, the way our minds seek patterns in the chaos of nature, finding humanity in the rocks and soil. The journey continues, and the world turns beneath us, slowly, majestically. We glide towards the bottom of the world, towards the great white silence of Antarctica. The landscape here is blindingly bright, a canvas of ice and snow, pristine and untouched. It is a place of absolute stillness, where time seems to freeze along with the water. Scouring this white expanse on Google Earth, people have found baffling anomalies that defy the emptiness. We drift over a ridge of mountains, dark peaks piercing through the snow like jagged teeth. And there, amidst the natural chaos of the ice, sits a shape that looks too perfect, too symmetrical. It resembles a pyramid, 4 sides, rising to a sharp point, casting a long triangular shadow across the glacier. Is it a mountain, shaped by the relentless carving of the wind over millions of years? Or is it something else, something buried deep beneath the ice? A remnant of a time when this continent was warm and green. We do not need the answer. The mystery itself is the comfort. It allows us to wonder, to dream. The wind howls silently over the peak, blowing plumes of snow from the summit. The pyramid stands solitary, guarding the secrets of the South Pole, deeply asleep under the blanket of frost. Let us float away from the ice, moving back towards the temperate zones, towards the places where humanity has left its mark. We see the strange, circular patterns of irrigation in the desert, looking like green vinyl records scattered on the sand. We see the grid lines of cities, glowing softly like embers in the night. But there are other marks, baffling and whimsical. We drift over a field in the countryside where a farmer has planted trees in a specific pattern. Unrecognizable from the ground, but from here, from our peaceful height, we see it is a heart. A massive heart of oak and pine, growing in the middle of a meadow. It was perhaps a tribute to a lost love, a secret message meant only for the sky. For decades it grew silently, the leaves changing colour with the seasons, green in summer, gold in autumn, bare in winter. A living memorial, quiet and enduring, caught by the passing satellite, a testament to love that transcends the earth. And further still, we glide over the coastlines, where the water meets the sand. We see the outlines of shipwrecks, baffling shadows beneath the shallow turquoise waters. These are the skeletons of vessels that once sailed the world, now resting, becoming reefs, becoming home to fish and coral. From above, they look peaceful. The violence of the storm that sank them is long gone. Now, they are simply shapes, textures in the water, fading slowly as the ocean claims them. We watch the gentle lapping of the waves over these sunken histories, the rhythmic pulse of the tide, washing over the decks, smoothing the jagged edges. As we continue our orbit, we notice the colours of the Earth changing again. We see the Prism spring, a baffling, brilliant eye in the ground, vivid rings of orange, yellow, and deep blue caused by bacteria in the hot water. It looks like a portal to another dimension, glowing with an inner light, steam rising gently from its surface. It is a reminder that the Earth is alive, that it has heat and energy coursing through its veins. We float above the steam, feeling the warmth in our imagination, watching the colours shift and swirl, a natural kaleidoscope that requires no intervention, simply existing in its own beauty. Drifting now over the vast steppes of Central Asia, we encounter the Geoglyphs of Kazakhstan. Massive earthworks, squares, crosses, and rings formed by mounds of earth. Some are larger than football fields, older than the pyramids. Who built them and why remains a baffling question. Wandering through the corridors of history, they stand in the middle of nowhere, silent sentinels of a forgotten time. The grass grows over them, turning them green in the spring, brown in the summer. The herds of wild horses graze nearby, unaware of the patterns beneath their hooves. Only we, from our drifting vantage point, can see the grand design, the order imposed on the wild steppe. The world is full of these puzzles, these quiet riddles. We see a lake in the Middle East that is blood red, startling against the beige sand. A result of algae and salt, baffling to the eye, but natural in its cause. We see a forest in Poland where the trees all curve at the base, huge question marks of wood growing in unison towards the sky. Everything is soft from this distance. The sharp edges of reality are blurred. The questions do not demand answers. They simply invite contemplation. We are merely observers, ghosts in the machine, floating through the digital atmosphere, witnessing the marvels of our home. Let your mind drift to the idea of scale. How small these baffling cases are in the grand scheme of the planet, and yet how significant they feel. They are the textures of our world, the details that make it rich and strange. Imagine now that we are drifting over your own home. seeing it from miles above. It is just a tiny speck in the vast mosaic of rooftops and roads, peaceful, quiet. The lights are dim, the movement is slow. From here, there are no worries, no deadlines, only the geometric beauty of the streets, the patchwork of gardens, the silver ribbons of highways. We are pulling back now, moving higher. The details begin to fade. The Nazca Lines become invisible scratches. The shipwrecks merge with the blue. The forest mounds disappear into the green. The earth curves away from us, a glowing horizon against the star-filled void. The baffling cases, the mysteries, the anomalies, they are all part of the slumbering giant that is our planet. They are safe down there, wrapped in the atmosphere, cradled by gravity. As you continue to float in this peaceful darkness, let the imagery of the Earth settle in your mind. The swirling clouds, the deep oceans, the silent deserts. The world is turning, steady and sure, carrying us all through the night. There is nothing left to solve, nothing left to find. The satellite continues its silent orbit, watching, recording, dreaming. And you are free to drift with it, free to let go, free to rest. The colours blur into a soft, comforting grey. The questions fade into silence. The journey slows to a gentle halt. You are safe. You are calm. You are at peace. Let the darkness wrap around you like a warm blanket, deeper and deeper, into the quiet, into the stillness, into sleep.